Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Minecraft Bedrock Survival. In today's episode we are going to be discussing one of the new blocks, bells. We're going to be having a little bit of fun with that and showing you a few things that I've built using bells. You'll see here now in the base we have a little daylight indicator, and whenever it changes from daytime to nighttime, the lights change and the bell rings. So I've got a bed here just so that we can see this, then we're going to head over to the redstone testing warehouse. We're going to have a look at the bell in more detail and have a look at this fun little thing with the daylight sensor as well. So let's hop in here and you can see it working. And there you go, you see the bell rings and the light changes over. So we're going to have a little bit look more at this, but we're going to do it over at the redstone testing warehouse. So let's just zoom over here. I see we have lots of things to have a look at here. We have this setup here with the daylight sensors, but first of all let's go and have a look at the actual bell itself. So you can see that the bell, it has a little sort of bar across it, and the bell can only be rang in particular directions. So it can only go in the direction that it's held, which is obviously the way that a normal bell would work. So we can ring it from this side and we can't ring it. Get those out of my hand. We can't ring it from this side. You'll see here I've rigged it up in a few different variations because there is technically three different variants of the bell. You've got the one that we just looked at here, which is the normal one. There is from the side of a block, so you can come along with a bell, place it on the side of a block, and this one functions like that. It can only go in the way that it is strung up on the bar there. So same again, can't do it from that side. We can ring it from that side, but it also has another position which is suspended, like what you can see underneath here, and what you can see more clearly from this post here. So it's very similar to the lantern block. So from this one though, when it's suspended, you can ring it in any direction. You can also place these in either orientation, so you've got one facing that way and you've got one facing that way. I did try with the lanterns, putting them on there as a comparison, but they just go as normal to here. There's no sort of special variant for that. So let's have a look at some more details. I'm going to go into these bits here that are ringing every now and again in the background in a few minutes. So you've got this normal one here anyway, and the bell can also be interactive with as a redstone component. So if I were to flick this, so when I ring this, the observers will create an observer clock which will ring that continuously. So turn your headphones down. There we go. So we can send a signal into that. We can send just with normal redstone. We can do it through a block as well. And you can also ring a bell with a dispenser. I put a label on there because I can never remember the difference between dispensers and the dropper block. So I'm loading this up with arrows, and we can ring the bell with arrows if it hits it. Eventually. You know when you're testing this and every single one hits it? There you go. Oh, and there's some of the bells ringing behind us there. So you could have this, I suppose, as some kind of random generator. Maybe you could have an observer observe whenever it rings. Actually, can you observe when it rings? Let's hop over to our redstone testing redstone box here. Let's take one of those. And let's do a quick experiment and see whether or not we can detect the ring. Right, we want to be facing that way. And if I stand here, and we'll see if we can trigger it. Yes, so you could have that as some kind of very weird and very resource intensive randomizer. You can move this back as well, and it'll decrease the chances of it hitting. But anyway, let's have a look at some of the other things that about the bell. The bell can only be heard at a certain range, and that range is 16 blocks. So what I'm going to do is here, I'll go get another observer from the cupboard over here. Yep, just one of them. Close that. And this is another one as well, you might want to turn your headphones down. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ring this, and you see here in our redstone testing warehouse, everything is marked out so that we can easily count things, and I've even put signs up so we can see where the sound will stop. So let's just get this ringing. Starts going nuts. So you can still hear it at 5, at 10, and then we slowly get here. We're on block 16. So it just starts to glitch a little bit there. You can see the sound occasionally drops out, and then if we step back onto 17, you can still see that the bell is ringing, but you can't hear it. So if we just go back and forth between 16 and 17, you can see here that the bell is ringing. So it's a little bit disappointing that it has such a short range, because I would have liked to have put maybe the system that we're going to look at here in a minute into some of the towers and have it ringing in the area every now and again, but right, let's get that noise turned off. Yeah, so it would have been nice if it could have been heard a little bit further than 16 blocks. Maybe they'll come up with some update, maybe there'll be some sort of, maybe a bigger bell, you never know what they might come up with in the future. So anyway, that's a quick look at the bell block. Now I'm going to show you some, if you combine that with a daylight sensor, some of the little fun things that I've been doing. And I've done a few different variants on the same thing, depending on how many resources you've got, because bells, you either have to steal them from a village or you've got to trade for them. I managed to trade for quite a few of them, and I nicked a few from villages that had more than one bell. So anyway, let's have a look through here. So that's just the bell on its own there. And this here is the little circuit that I have rigged up in our base. So you see the clock there. We have a daylight sensor on the top, which is in daylight mode. Let's just go up here for a moment. If I can just get up to where that beam is there. I had to arrange everything a bit weird in here because we've got to accommodate for getting the light through the ceiling. So anyway, we have a daylight sensor here, and that powers this block, which then of course unpowers this redstone torch, which then does not power that block there. So that's when it's in daytime mode. And then in nighttime, when the sun goes, falling down there, when the sun goes down, that will not get any power. So if we just hop down here a moment, around the back. So you see here there is a redstone torch here which is powering that line there, which wraps around the back, which then powers the light in daytime. So what I'll do is we can just simulate it going into nighttime very quickly just by pressing or changing this from daylight mode to nighttime mode. So if we just click here, you see that happens every time when the sun goes down. And then it flicks back over when the sun comes up. Obviously, we're just doing that for the demonstration purposes. So I thought it would be a nice, cool little thing in the base, because apart from you can have a little light source as well, in addition to the clock, you can have a bell ring as well to let you know maybe it's when it's safe to go back outside. So if you're hanging around doing stuff in your base, then you know you can go back to the surface because it's going to be safe. You can as well have, this is just using one daylight sensor. I have got a few variants here where you can compress it even further, but you require 2 daylight sensors to do this. So we have one in daytime mode and one in nighttime mode. Now, with this one here, this is every sort of half day, so it's when it becomes nighttime or when it becomes the morning. This setup here will go with what I call a Minecraft hour, because a daytime cycle is about 20 minutes for the day and the night. So what we have here is a daylight sensor. One is on nighttime mode, which is this one here, and the other one is in daytime mode. And every time the signal changes for a different level of light coming through, the observer can sense that. And when it does that, it will put out its little redstone signal, and it will ring the bell. Now, if you only have one bell, you can just immediately underneath it put a little dab of redstone, and that is going to power that one there. Alternatively, if you have multiple bells, the easier setup is just this little tiny compact one here. So it's the exact same array as what we had before. Daylight sensor, observer facing up into that, and then you've got the bell just hanging off the observer. And there you go, that was another Minecraft hour just ticked over, and that would buzz. Which is partly why I would have loved to have had this in like a little clock tower somewhere. So, but unfortunately, as I said, we've only got a range of 16 from the bell that we can hear. But anyway, so that's a nice little one there. I'm going to put this somewhere in the base, I think, just for the fun of it, because it is just nice, I think, just to have a little clock chime every now and again. Maybe put it in the panic room. That might be nice to have that. Oop. And there's another Minecraft tower ticked over. I've also done a slightly, just exactly the same here. I just separated them so that you can see the ring independently, because of course when the redstone signal goes into that one, the redstone signal carries and triggers this one as well. And what we have here is the same thing again, except I put the lights on the sides, and all I've done that is I've got the redstone light and a little dab of redstone coming out. So if we just go down here again, and what will happen is when it becomes night time, this will tick over, same as what we saw here, and the same as what we saw in our base at the beginning there. So next up, we're going to go a little bit more detail of the daylight sensors and how this works for every hour in an easier way for you to observe it, which is outside. So if we just hop out here, and oh, that's brilliant there. I've been having loads of bother with wandering traders. I thought they were going to be really rare. I kind of get rid of them. Actually, let's see down here, because there was another. Yeah, he's despawned, but his llamas are still there. I have actually captured 2 of his llamas from the previous time. I had to wait a little while as well to record this, because there was another 2 wandering traders. One of them was right in the middle of this, and one of them was standing at the back. I kind of get rid of the guys. But anyway, let's hop up here, and here you can see a little bit more clearly how the daylight sensor works and through the day. So when it's coming on to night time here, so soon we're going to start to see these go down, and there you go. So there's one night time tick, and if we go down here, you see I've made the array of the different models that we saw inside, and you can see that are changing over as it's now becoming night time. Let's see, we've got this one here, which is the larger array, so we'll be able to see that one change on its own very soon to night time. So you see there, I'll just move here, the sound of the bells in the background there as it's slowly chiming that night's coming. So it's a nice sort of alarm as well to tell you, like a warning, you've got to get back to your base. So let's see, the sun is going down, and let's see, when will this tick over? Just a moment. It's almost there. The sun's almost down in the distance. There we go, it's officially night time. The moon is coming obviously in the distance over there. Let's just hop up here, and so as you can see there, those bells were ringing every hour, which is also the equivalent of whenever these ring. So with we'll just go back to the daylight sensors. A daylight sensor, depending on the level of daytime or the level of nighttime it is depending on what type of signal it puts out, and that is to the normal maximum block of is that 16 again. So yeah, so it's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16 here is where it cuts off. So we've got 15 blocks to play with. So it's the maximum signal, the same as what you get from a solid block of redstone or any signal that you want to put through. So you'll see here, if we go over here, and if we wait a moment, we'll be able to see that as it becomes later in the night, we will get redstone signal, which will increase, and it will go to this redstone light here. Of course, I'm realising that nighttime probably wasn't the best time to do this, and with it not being a full moon, the nighttime one has not travelled quite as far as what I would have hoped for the demonstration. So let's just hop in here, and I'll tell you what, we'll go to the morning. If I just sleep here. There you go, you see that the time has changed, and we'll probably get a better signal here through the daytime as the sun begins to rise. There you see the next one is building up, and if we just go here, And there you go, and that will slowly build up through the daytime until it gets to the maximum. So we've learned something else as well, that we didn't realise, that moon cycles also play into account as to the level of light that it receives, which I suppose in reality it would. So the bell will be nicer through the day, and you see it gets faster and faster. Oop, we're getting a few more there as the day closes. And the night time, depending on what time of the Minecraft month it is, it's not going to put out a longer signal. So, well, that sort of knackers up a little bit of the clock system, but it doesn't matter. It's still it's still all right. So what I'm going to do now is, I think whilst the sun is still not too high in the sky, what we're going to do is I'm going to stand up here. And if I can get everything lined up, I'll tell you what, we will go to settings, go to video, and we will hide hand and the heads up display. And what I'll do is I will stand here, see if we've got everything in play there, so that you can see the bottommost. I wonder if it'd be better to stand on this one. Hang on. There we go. You can see everything, I think, a bit more clearly there. So if I stand here, we will leave this for the day until the morning, and you'll be able to see here the light levels changing, and you'll be able to see the bells ringing in the distance each time. You can also see at the side here, you will be able to see when it flicks over between day and night. So let's just leave this here, and we'll watch this little time lapse. Okay everyone, welcome back. Now hopefully that went through a nice full day and night time cycle. I've just come back from looking after my chickens outside, and I can see here we have another one of these guys. Mr. Meeseek has come back again. I just kind of get rid of these guys, there's far too many of them here. But anyway, hopefully you saw in that, just have a look there to see if there's any more of these guys might have been spawning around. But hopefully you saw in that the signal strength coming out of the daylight sensor, whether it be in daytime or nighttime mode, and you would have been able to see the bells ringing as it slowly progressed throughout the day. You would have seen these ones as well ringing every time as well that the light levels updated, and also as well the day and night time flicking over from these guys here. And also as well, there was a clock just in this top little patch here, so you could always see what the actual time is. So I hope you enjoyed that little look at that. I'll just hop back in here as well. I will of course put some screenshots up on my website. There's no point in doing a block by block tutorial on these because this is basically it for this little thing here. If you want to have a little day or nighttime light with a bell ringing underneath somewhere in your base, it's really simple. You've got this one here which is powering that, and when that one gets powered, it powers that block, which then turns that off, which allows the two lights to flick. And you can rig that in daytime or nighttime mode, so whichever way suits you for your base really. Or you've got these nice little compact ones here. This is probably the better of the designs. It's nice and easy. It rings the bell every time that the Minecraft hour, as it were, changes, at least through the daytime. Through the nighttime, we've just discovered there as well that the moon, the type of moon that it is, plays a role in it. And as well, you can see there's lots of lots of things that you can do to trigger the bells. You've got oops, I clicked on the right one. We get one of these arrows might hit it. There you go. And with it being a redstone component, it means that we can do lots of different things with it. So I was actually going to, maybe if we had the bigger range, if it was just longer than these 16 blocks, I was going to put some of these in the base in place of the note blocks. Just because I thought it'd be just more fun to have the bell ringing, but because they have such a short range, it wasn't really practical as a signal for the different components that are in our base. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to rate, comment, favourite and subscribe. Join me in the next video where we'll be getting back on track after a minor catastrophe that I'll discuss in the next video. So there we go, thanks for watching and I'll see you all next time.